This is a 1972 Chevelle Malibu. Okay, this body style came out in 1970 and stayed the same from 70 to 72 with subtle changes. A lot of the manufacturers up to 1970, every new model came out would have been a 2-year span. Like if you take the first year for Chevelle, they came out in 64, so they stayed the same 64 and 5. Then they changed the body style for 66, so 66 and 67 is the same. Needless to say, they stayed on a 2-year span. 70, the manufacturers started up at keeping the body designs the same for about 3 years because they're trying to recoup their engineering and their design. So in order to do that, to keep making enough money on a design change, they stretched it out to 3 years, and that proceeded later years. Everybody was stretching out from 3 to 4 years, 5 years. Needless to say, this is a 72. The cubic inch label on here is 400. There were two 400s in this year. There was a 400 small block and a 400 big block. The difference is the 400 small block was built on the 350 architecture. The 400 big block was built on the 396 architecture. So when you go into the hood here, this is a 402, this is your tune-up spec sheet. 402 is right there. And this is built on a 396 architecture, which is a different style block, and it's a big block design. Basically in 72, General Motors in 71, the government came in and wanted to refactor for emissions and everything, and the government started cracking down on performance engines. So 71, GM was the first to follow the government lead and came out with less compression ratios, retarded camshafts, and cleaner emissions. So the 402 basically didn't perform like a 396, which was a very good performance motor. It had lower compression, like I said, and different cam specs and everything, and they weren't quite as powerful or responsive wise. Plus horsepower factors changed to net horsepower instead of gross horsepower. Gross horsepower was measured at the flywheel on a dyno. Net horsepower is factored at the rear tire. What the government wanted to know is, we don't care how much horsepower the motor's got, how much is it really net to the car? So everything changed starting 71 up for General Motors. Ford didn't switch, and Chrysler till 72, roughly. So that's pretty much the quick history on this car and design.